Today. Let me start by giving a brief overview of the Town Center CID, and then a few minutes on projects that we've done in 2013 and some closing remarks. So, the Town Center CID, I'm chairman of a 7-member board, and the board is a board of property owners. We represent 250 property owners in the Town Center area who own about 650 parcels in the Town Center area worth about $1.4 billion. Our geography is we're generally on the east from Bells Ferry to the west to Cobb Parkway, south to Barrett, and north to Chastain. We serve and benefit from our location near Kennesaw Mountain, McCollum Airport, KSU, and the Town Center Mall. And in between there, we represent about several million square feet of office, industrial, and retail space, and about 1,000 hotel rooms. We were established in 1997. CIDs run on a 6-year life, and so we're in our third term, our third 6-year term. We generate about $3 million a year in revenue from the property owners, which is a $5 million revenue stream, which is put right back into the district. Less than 15 cents of every dollar goes to overhead, and 85 cents of every dollar of our CID revenue goes in 3 areas. 1 is infrastructure, 2 is quality of life, and 3 is planning. Technically, we have no employees. We have 4 staff members who are on annual contracts for 1 year, and they are reviewed each year and renegotiated or re-upped. The 7 board members receive no compensation, never have, never will. As a matter of fact, pay for the right to serve on the board in the sense that we're property owners and we're paying the taxes, and then we volunteer to serve. So I think each board member probably serves about 75 to 100 hours a year in service to the CID. So that's who we are, where we are, and what we do. So let me give you a quick update on our 2013 activities. We broke ground on the skip span connector located just north of Chastain Road. It's a $24 million project, which is 60% federally funded and 40% local funding. The CID conceived the project and contributed about $1.6 million towards its design and construction. Then we collaborated and built a coalition of funding partners with Georgia, the state of Georgia, with Cobb County, KSU, and the federal government. Like the $27 million Big Shanty connector, next slide, that we completed last year, the skip span connector will provide additional east-west connectivity across 75 and relieve traffic on Chastain, and also provide better connectivity from KSU for students on the west side of 75 to get to the recreational facilities and their classes on the east side. We also, next slide, we also continue the construction of the Noonday Creek Trail, which we began several years ago. It's a 7-mile trail system that goes through the heart of the Town Center CID. The CID also conceived this project and spent about $3.5 million of our own money to tee the project up. And then here again, we collaborated with a variety of sources for funding for the entire 7-mile trail. Other sources were Cobb County, the state of Georgia, and the National Park Service. Half of that trail is completed now, and half of it will be completed in 2014. In 2013, we also completed another phase of our landscape enhancement and maintenance program. The Town Center CID now maintains 16 miles of roads in the Town Center area and 2 miles of trails from our CID money, which is about $400,000 a year that we spend to maintain public roads in the Town Center CID. We also began construction of roadway improvements on Barrett Parkway at Home Center Drive. And we completed comprehensive road and intersection improvements to the Barrett Parkway 575 corridor. Next slide. 2014, we'll do a couple of things. One is we're going to install 8 gateway signs throughout the district. And this is our most ambitious project, a quality of life initiative, which is to create a 40-acre park in the center of the CID. What you're looking at is the north part of the ring road to the mall. This is just south of Big Shanty, the Big Shanty connector that we built. So the idea there is that we take 40 acres of really unusable land, and we have a bridge connection and a pedestrian connection across the park. And just like we did with Skip Span, and just like we did with Big Shanty, we expect to collaborate and get a variety of sources to fund that project. And finally, building on our successes from the other crossings, our planning group is working on the South Barrett Reliever. This is a project that we have invested a lot of money in so far in planning, and the idea here is just south of Barrett Parkway to make another connection west to east to connect across to Barrett Park Drive behind the Home Depot there. So our broad coalition of public and private partners remains strong and more important than ever. In 2014, we'll continue to work with CDOT. We have a lot of work to do with the Managed Lane project, certainly in the analysis of the BRT project. A lot of things going on between Cumberland and Town Center along the 75 corridor. So we're going to stay heavily invested in that. In terms of CID projects started or completed, jobs created, investment and expansion in the Town Center area, many people would say that 2013 was our best year ever. I would say that our best days are yet to come. So, in closing, let me say this. I think we've done a lot of good in the Town Center area over the years. We've been a good neighbor. We've invested. We've created partnerships. We've worked hard with Kennesaw Mountain, with McCollum, with Cobb DOT. We've worked a lot with KSU and the mall, all the property owners. I think we've got a good track record. So here's the deal. With the recent passing of Skip Span, there are only two board members, two of the original board members left that founded the CID in 1997. Kerry O'Brien with Taylor Mathis and me. So I'd like to give a little bit of perspective to our activities in the Town Center area. If you took everything that we've done since we were formed in 1997, all the things that we did for job growth and economic development to enhance property values and quality of life initiatives and infrastructure improvements, everything we've done from 1997, the $30 million of our own money that we spent in our district, which we grew to about $130 million of improvements in our district. If you took all of that from 97 to today, and then went from today to the end of our term, our third 6-year term, the money we're going to spend, if you took all and added it up and multiplied it times 10, literally, it would not equal the economic impact of one Braves mixed-use development in Cobb County. So I also want to say that in 16 years of working for the CID in collaboration with Cobb County, we've accomplished a lot of things, a lot of public-private projects. Over $200 million worth of public-private projects in the Town Center and the Cumberland CID alone in my involvement with you guys. So to those who say that Cobb County is unwilling or unable or incapable or is unable to form public-private partnerships for economic development, for quality of life enhancements, for infrastructure improvements, I say they're wrong. It's been my personal experience that they're wrong. So just in closing, I'd like to say that for the good of Cobb County and for the good of the region, I hope that you'll approve the Braves Mixed Use Development Night. And that concludes my Town Center CID annual report. Thank you.
Thank you.